Hey, everybody.
Hello! Hi, everybody. It is Tuesday, and we are back with another tutorial for you. Hooray! Yay! It's
Yay!
wonderful to see everybody here already. As you can see, we have a special guest. I'll get to her in 1 second. I'm Amber. I will be answering any of your questions, so leave questions and comments. Also, tell us where you're watching from. I know we have a lot of faces we've seen a lot of times, but I still love seeing it. So feel free to do that. Then we have the wonderful Janae, who will
Hey,
be
everybody.
helping us. And then our specialist guest,
Woo!
Ranitra. Hurrah!
Everyone.
I always say my hurrahs like quietly because I'm scared I'll just like blow out my microphone. So my hooray is excited despite my volume. So Ranitra is back. She is going to help us. So she and Janae are going to be both going through a 1950s inspired look. These are going to be more neutral tones with a pop of color in the lip. And part of that is because we did this once before and the internet went bananas.
Yes, it did.
Really gave us a hard time that day. So
That's right. So we thought, what a great opportunity to do this one again and to bring on Ranitra as a special guest to do it. So we're making it even better than before.
Yes. So we've got all the good stuff. We have Natalie watching from England and Kristen from Texas and Massachusetts. And then lots of hellos to the Tuesday squad. People have got it named.
Hi, guys.
So cute and great. Wonderful. So yes, let's get started. Start with Renee and then or Janae and go right to I said Janae and Ranitra at the same time.
Renee, that's us.
You are Renee as one. But yes,
Okay.
let's get started.
Okay, so I'll go first and tell you a little bit about what I already have on and what I'm going to do today. So I already have on my face base, basically. So I did concealer, I did powder, I did blush, and I did my brows. So fun fact about my blush today, because we usually get questions about what blush we're wearing. So I'm just going to jump the gun and tell you what I did. So I'm wearing a mix. I used the Lucy Love That Redhead lipstick as my blush and used just my fingertips and sort of blotted it out on my cheeks. And then on top of that, I used from the Lucy Club Babaloo palette, I used the Ricardo Rosé color, and then I put that on over the top. So that's what I've got going on for my blush, which was kind of just a spontaneous choice I did because I was just looking around and I was like, what color do I want to do? And then I was like, oh, well, I think that's the lip color I'm going to wear today. So why don't I use it as blush? And then I liked how it looked. And then I was like, but maybe I wanted a little peachier. So I went back over with that eyeshadow color to kind of make it more orangey peachy. And this is what we got. So I'm pretty happy with it. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to use the Club Babaloo palette for my look today. And I'm going to be doing a very neutral eye. And then I'm going to be using some pencils as well on my eye. And then for my lips, we're going to do a nice big 50s red lip a la Lucille Ball. That's what I'm doing.
Wonderful. And Ranitra, what do you have on so far? And what are your twists on this kind of look?
Sure. So I decided to wear reds and florals, do more of like a 50s romantic kind of look. So what I'm going to be doing, actually what I have on right now is just foundation, a little bit of concealer, powder. I don't have blush on because I'm going to apply that second to last. I have just base on my eyes and then brows. What I plan on doing is I am going to be using the McGillicuddy Roots as my focal point for my shadow, along with the Tropicana Taupe, just to enhance my crease a little bit. And then I'm going to also go in with the Ricardo Rosé just to give the base of the shadow a little bit of a pop. So it's going to kind of give it more of a deeper hue of a almost nude, but just make the nude a little bit nuder rather than just using the McGillicuddy Roots by itself. Then I'm going to be using a liner. This is actually, I'm not sure the name of this one. I think it's just a red Besame liner. And then I'm going to be using Victory Red lipstick.
Cute. Love it.
Beautiful.
Yay.
So yes, if you're doing this at home along with us or doing it later, you can also choose your own, if these kind of neutrally and blush tones, or you can get the Club Bob Blue palette and have it all right there for
There you go. Totally.
If you want to
Well,
do
I'm
that.
just going to dive
Yay.
right in, I think. And I'm going to
Yay.
start with the McGillicuddy Roots color, which is the lightest one in this palette. It's like a very, very light beige, I guess you would call it. It's not quite white,
Yeah.
but it's, yeah, it's like a nice highlight color. And I'm going to put that all over my lid.
And also, Ranitra, can I ask, are you wearing a scarf that's then put together with a little...
Yeah, so actually what I did initially, what I find sometimes with brooches, especially depending on the size of the needle of the brooch, wearing them in dresses that are vintage or have more of a nylon sort of feel, sometimes they create a little hole in the blouse or the top, which I would rather not have. So what I did to still utilize my brooch and still kind of give a little bit of romantic feel was I just took a regular like nylon scarf, either a vintage one or one you can just get on Amazon, oblong in shape. I tied it in the center, and then I just placed the brooch directly in the center.
Wow, it's just so cute.
So
I love it.
Yeah, so I kind of did that just because I wanted to wear it, but again, the dress that I'm wearing is also a vintage dress, and I just didn't want to poke a hole in it. So often what I'll usually do with brooches when I'm wearing something that's a little bit more fragile is I'll just figure out some other way to place it on a turban or somewhere else to still give color, but just to not damage the actual garment.
That's a great tip. And I really love that look because it's like you're wearing a scarf / necklace / fun collar. It's like all of those things in one.
All of those things. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
so
and with the
cute.
weather right now, it's nice to kind of still have something around your neck that's cool. And actually, because this is nylon, it's kind of cool. Because you can also tie it in your hair. Like Janae's hairstyle will be great with this tied, like with the little cute bow. You can also tie it around your neck to the side, but this just kind of, again, gives it more of an accessory necklace element rather than just the plain scarf.
Love it. I love that. So I already did my first step. It was super fast. I did it just while we were talking about scarves and such. And I just applied McGillicuddy Roots, and I did it mostly concentrated on the lid, but then I kind of just went up all the way to the brow to just sort of give it like a nice base for the rest of my color to go on top of. So my next step what I'm going to do is using the palette's little handy dandy brush that it comes with. I use the fluffy shadow brush that we offer for what I just did. Now I'm using the brush that comes with the palette, and I'm going to use Band Leader Brown, which is this nice chocolate brown color. So pretty. And I'm going to use that in like a little V shape right into the crease of my eye, which is something I typically do with shadow. But what I'm going to do a bit differently today with it is I'm going to really emphasize like a rounded shape to really give my eyes more of an open and rounded shape, because that was really popular in the 50s to give your eyes that shape. When we got to the 60s, we did see that a little bit more, but then it became more like doll-like eyes. But I'm really drawing inspiration from Lucille Ball's 1950s look. And her brows were rounded. Her, eye shape was rounded. It was all really nice arch round shapes. So that's what I'm going to try and do with my crease shadow.
And then Ranitra, you're just putting that same base color shadow on as well.
Right. So right now I just use the McGillicuddy Root to kind of just go over my entire lid of my eye. And so now I'm just going to go over the crease and ends of my eye with a little bit of the Ricardo Rosé first, before I do the Tropicana Rose, almost to give the Tropicana Rose a bit of a halo.
Okay. Ooh. And you mean the Tropicana taupe one next?
Excuse me, Tropicana taupe.
No, I say the wrong words all the time. It's very hard when you're like, I'm putting it in the rose. I'm doing this.
Yeah, I'm going to do the Ricardo Rosé first, and then go in the Tropicana with the Tropicana taupe so that it kind of highlights it.
Yeah.
Cool. And for those of you who don't have the palette in front of you, Ricardo Rosé is the one that I said I had used for blush. it looks like this. It's kind of peachy. And then Tropicana Taupe is this one up here. It's a really nice, just basic taupe shade, really, really pretty and very versatile. Amber, I think one time you said you even used that in your brows. Am I
Yep,
correct in saying
I'm
so?
wearing that again as brows today.
Oh, perfect.
If you are blonde, it's a really good blonde brow thing, because finding blonde brow things, especially when you're on the paler side, can be difficult. A lot of stuff comes out a lot darker than my hair color, so it's
Yeah,
good for
I'm
that.
sure.
But yeah, it's a very versatile. The taupe is kind of good for anything that needs a little bit of shadow or a little bit of something.
Yeah. So I did one eye with the brown in the crease. What do you think? You can totally see a difference, and I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
changing the shape of my eye too, for sure. So, and if you're a novice at makeup, don't worry. I'm not a professional makeup artist. Renitra's got skills. I just am someone who practices and loves makeup all the time. Just practicing the best that I can. But really, it's the way that I did it to get this shape was I just sort of pressed right into the socket of the eye, going like upward more rather than downward more to really, and then tried to purposely give it like a nice round shape. And remember, wherever you put your shadow first from your brush, it's going to stay there, and then you're going to blend it out in the direction you're going. So don't apply it somewhere where you don't want it to be the most concentrated, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
like, did that
Yeah,
make
so you don't
sense?
want to start it like right in towards the corner of your eye or something, because that's where you
Exactly.
want it to blend out. Start
Right.
outwards
So
a little bit.
Exactly. I put it right here first, and then I blended it toward the center. So now I'm going to do that on my other eye.
Great. We have Sarah's really into taupe. Vintage Doll says those make your eyes look much more open and lifted, which is really cool to
Yay,
see.
good.
Awesome.
I need that.
And
Heaven
then
knows
as
I
you're
need
putting
that.
on the Ricardo Rosé, Renitra, CM also asked, did you ever put magnets on brooches or anything else like that? CM, I'm not sure how you'd use the magnet, but I'm not a brooch expert. But yes,
Yeah,
are there any
so
other techniques with that?
Yeah, so I have heard and seen the brooch magnets that I believe that they sell specifically for that, and you attach the magnet to the brooch, and then another magnet goes on the
Oh,
opposite side, and it essentially holds the brooches. It holds
yes.
the fabric. I have not tried it. I think with that for me, I get concerned about some of my brooches that are a little harder to find, that it might fall off, or if the fabric is too thick. So I haven't tried that yet. It's definitely something on my radar, but I've just yet to try the brooches. Are there any suggestions of magnet companies? Because I know
Yeah.
that there are a few.
Yeah, if you guys have suggestions, let us know for sure. Yeah, and thank you for explaining it to me, all of you. I don't know why I was just like, I could not think about that. But yeah, so let us know if you have other tips on that. A quick answer to Kristen about the mascara brush set. It should be in stock in about 2 weeks. We've just had lots of delays because of everything going on in the world, but it should be about 2 more weeks. And they'll be
Yay,
back.
exciting.
Yay! So
Can't
Janae,
wait.
we have your band leader brown all in the crease.
Yes, there it is. So next, what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use Lucy's Lilac, which we've used before. And even the last time Renitra was on with us, we did a whole lilac purple look. But I'm just going to sort of use this as a little bit of an accent color today. So I'm going to just apply it kind of like right over here on the outside corner and sort of use it to just blend more, because right now it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of blocked out, so I'm going to use that purple lilac color to give a little blend. And I'm using again, my favorite little fluffy shadow brush. I love this brush.
Cool. And then Renitra, what step are you on now? That looks so natural and pretty so far.
Yeah,
Oh,
so what I
gorgeous.
did was I used again the McGillicuddy roots all over. I patted my eye with that. Then I went into the crease, and basically, much like Janae, in a very rounded effect, using the Ricardo Rosé, which is kind of like a peachy orange. Then I went into the end, just the very end crease, and used a little bit of the Tropicana taupe. to kind of give it just a little bit more definition, because I feel like in the 50s, there's so many different variations of eyeshadow looks, from
Totally.
very, very subtle to more dramatic to just
Mhm.
almost one shade. So I kind of did a little bit of in between, and also because I have so much color on, I didn't want to do, super bold eyes, so something soft for summer.
There you
Oh,
go. Nice.
Hmm.
beautiful.
Very nice. And I like that you mentioned that, Renitra, about how there were so many different eye looks. And it's
Hmm.
interesting because maybe not as
Right,
many as we see nowadays. Nowadays, I
right.
mean, people
There's
are
so
having
many.
so much fun and getting so creative with their makeup in all
Mhm.
sorts of ways that we wouldn't have done back in the 50s, of course, 70 years ago.
Right.
We were a little more conservative. But back then, to see these different like colors and things like that that women were doing on their eyes, that seemed as different and crazy and radical as some of the looks you might see from makeup artists on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, that are as creative as can be. So it's kind of interesting to put yourself in the shoes of people of the 1950s and think that just seeing someone wearing just blue eyeshadow could have been something outrageous that you're like, wow,
Yeah.
that's so different,
Oh, wow.
because you didn't really see that in the decades before. But also, I like that in addition to just talking about these different eye looks of the 50s, Renitra and I are doing the different eye looks of the 50s because, like, as you can see, she's going to wing it out with some really dramatic and cute black liner. And I'm going to go more subtle for my liner, and I'm just going to use a brown pencil. So that's what I'm going to do right now,
Oh,
actually, because I'm done with my shadow. I did the three
oh,
colors that I
easy.
wanted to do. So easy, so simple. Now I'm going to use brown pencil, and I'm going to, again, really think about that rounded shape when I do my top line. And I'm going to put a little bit underneath my eye as well. But first, we'll just start with the top of the eye and go from there.
Okay.
Renitra, do you have any tips for us about eyeliner? I know people always, it can be so scary
Yeah.
sometimes doing eyeliner. I don't know if you've got
Oh
any
my gosh, you
practical
know what?
tips.
Honestly, I have to say that right now I am so proud of myself for not being able to to do this freehand, because I have the same issue with liner. I love to hate liner, especially for me. I tend to be sort of a perfectionist when it comes to a wing.
Oh, yeah.
So
Hmm.
actually being freehand like this is not something I love to do. So I'm pretty proud of myself for accomplishing that. But I definitely say with liner, if it's something that you're still having, maybe a little bit of a struggle with in terms of getting your actual extension correct, I say start small.
Hmm.
So just create a small cat eye,
Hmm.
then kind of keep adding to it, rather than trying to create something dramatic at first and then not being able to correct it. Because I think
Yeah.
the worst thing, with liner, especially with liquid, is kind of you want to, you almost get carried away because,
Yes.
and then you're figuring out what your eye shape is.
Hmm.
Because sometimes I think too, like I've seen girls that have a huge cat eye and it looks amazing on them, but then if your eye space isn't the same size, the shape of your eye isn't the same size, all of those things play a role into if it's going to work for you.
In the
So I
same
say,
way, right? Yeah.
right
Yeah.
in the same way. So I say just start small, just with a little skinny, small line, and then just keep building. And then as you keep building, then it becomes easier and easier and easier. Because I have to say, my first few cat eyes were not cats. I think they might have been lions or tigers or bears. Oh my. They were cats. I don't know what they were,
Ah,
some sort of animal,
I
but they
love
weren't,
that.
Like the
they
bear
were
eye
not
look.
children. So
Lions, tigers, and bears.
it took
Oh,
time for me to figure out what worked for me. Same thing with, lashes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Takes time. I think people see people on YouTube and different places and they're inspired and they're like, wow, I want to do that. And the first few times it doesn't look the same and you're kind of disappointed. But I think we've all been there where it's just you doing it over and doing it and finding a product too that works well for you. That's very, very important. Finding a
Mhm.
product that is comfortable for you and works well.
Yeah,
Cool. That's so
absolutely.
helpful. Yay. There's a
Yes.
couple little questions I wanted to answer. We had a quick one from Louisa asking me about if I'd ever use brown cake mascara on eyebrows. I actually have. So you can thin it out very little. If you have lighter hair, and actually use that fine. And then Janae's using brown, and you can, again, you're using a little less water, and then you can have a darker color. So it actually will. I think taupe is, if you maybe have want like more of a cooler kind of tone, that can be good. And if it's want a little bit of a warmer tone, you can then, and I just like take the brush and like dip it one tiny time when I'm using brown cake, and do it like that, and use a spoolie, put it through.
I'm wearing brown cake in my brows. I usually do. That's usually my go-to for my brows.
And Kristen said she wanted to tell you, Janae, that she's now in the Chocolate Kiss fan club, which she's very excited about, which I love.
Awesome. Chocolate Kiss fan club. Woohoo. Love it.
And then Elizabeth brought up that 50s eye looks were often not as complicated. And that's totally true. There were lots of very simple looks, but also if you look at movies at the time, they did actually sometimes use these kind of techniques that we're doing with the darker shadows in the crease and things like that. So yes, the everyday woman stuff was simpler. And like putting crystals and stuff on eyes like some people do today, it doesn't really happen. You'd kind of be surprised that there, especially in the filmmaking world, were some more adventurous kind of contoury techniques and stuff being used.
Totally.
But just for fun. Okay, cool. Yay. All right. What's next?
I'm going to just update.
Janae?
Yeah, I'm going to update real quick.
Yes.
So I did my brown liner already. I did not do a wing. I just did a simple rounded shape and just followed my natural lash line and ended it just a little bit past my lash line. And then underneath my eye, I only did from about here to about here, like just about the width of this cap. I just did a little bit of brown, maybe a little wider than that. And now I'm going back with, excuse me, a white pencil. And the white pencil is going to go two places. It's going to go inner corners, and then it's going to go on my waterline, which I've done before. And I always say, if you're new to lining your waterline, be so careful and make sure you're using a great product that is totally safe for your eyes. Don't just put anything near your eyes, of course. You want to make sure that it's a really good product for your eyes. Sometimes you think like, oh, well, it's an eye pencil, it should be fine. Got to make sure it's of the best quality. So I'm using actually the pencil that came with the Lucy collection. But again, there's lots of white pencils out there. So I'm just going to do inner corners like a little V, and then I'm going to do my waterline with the most caution I can.
Yeah. And then Ranitra, we have the beautiful liner done. And what are you on to now?
And now I'm just doing a little bit of rose blush on my cheeks.
Are you using the Ricotta Rosé, or are you using a different rose blush?
Actually, I'm using a different rose blush. I'm using the rose 1915 rose.
Oh, yes. Yes, our powder.
Throwing it back.
The powder
Very
blush.
nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Since it's the 50s, I figured I might as well throw it back to
the 15s.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
pretty.
I actually like to also put a little bit of powder on my nose and on my forehead and on my chin.
Oh, nice.
And what does that kind of do you think?
What was that?
How does that affect the look, would you say, when you add that little extra?
I just feel like it gives more of a balance.
Okay, yeah. Yes, absolutely.
You know, it kind of gives a little bit more of a balance. Sometimes if the blush is just like on your cheeks, I feel like when it's on your chin and your forehead, it kind of brings it all together.
Yeah, totally. I never thought of it that way. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I don't always, but in this case, because I have a nude eye, I thought it would be a nice little touch.
Yeah, no, that's so pretty. I love that. Let's see. We had a quick. So the shadows Janae used were the Tropicana Taupe, the Bandleader Brown, and the Lucy's Lilac.
So close. I did. Ranitra used Tropicana Taupe.
No.
I actually used McGillicuddy Roots.
That's what I meant.
It's a lot to keep track of. It's fine.
McGillicuddy Roots, Bandleader Brown, and Lilac.
Yes.
And Ranitra used the Tropicana Taupe and the Bandleader. Did you? Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. You can tell me, Ranitra. What am I doing? Can you recap what color she used on your eyes, Ranitra?
Sure. So I used the Lucy's lilac, or excuse me. Okay, start from the beginning. I used the McGillicuddy
Great.
roots. Then I used the Ricardo Rosé in my crease, and then went over the Ricardo Rosé with the Tropicana taupe.
There we go. Great. Thank
Yeah.
you. Very sweet. Let's see. We had we have, yes, the Lucy pencils, they sold out. We are going to be making more liners and things in the future, part of the classic collection, so that's something to look forward to. They're not coming out super soon, but that is something that we're actively working on. And then when will we have new products? Have new products all throughout the year. So again, scheduling is tougher than usual right now because of everything going on in the world, but we do have new collections coming out for you soon, new classic products. So keep an eye out, and you will see some fun things coming up.
We of course we
yay.
can't tell you what's coming, but we know you're gonna
No.
love it, and we're
Yeah.
excited. We're excited to use it here. Oh, so many fun things are coming. Get excited, but we can't say more.
Yeah, that's it. Cool, Janae. So, Janae, did you just do your mascara?
I just did my mascara. I used
Lovely.
Black Cake, of course, and I noticed I'm getting a little shiny, so I'm just gonna dust off with
Sure.
some powder here. Doo, doo, doo. And you know, the Lucy translucent powder is awesome. It's gorgeous. It's great for any skin tone. It goes on translucent. It gives a matte finish, helps hold your makeup, helps get rid of that shine like I was just dealing with because it's a little warm in here today. But it's great for that. And that is still available as well, just like the palette is. So if you don't have that yet, get it quick.
And I will say, if you are interested in any of the Lucy stuff, get it now because it's moving out and it's not coming back. So the lipsticks, we have that sale now, which again, I highly recommend getting the pre-sale now before that runs out. But we're not rerunning anything else. So have your eye on it. This is definitely a good time to get it before it goes out. Yes, let's see. CM said that Gabriella did do a preview of a new lipstick. She didn't say what it was, but if you watch the video from Thursday, Gabriella is wearing a new lipstick we'll have.
So exciting.
Yay.
Okay, so I'm going to move on to my lips, and I'm going to be lining them. I'm going to be trying to do my take on the Lucy lip, but I just wanted to ask all of you lovely viewers out there, how do you guys feel about Lucy's lip shape? Just out of curiosity. Do you love it? Do you think it's so fun and cute? Do you think it's wild and crazy and only she could pull it off? What do you think? What do you think? Is it something you would try? Have you tried?
Yes, let us know, and I'll let you know when people get back. And Ranitra, it already looks so pretty. Oh, so lovely. And then what is next?
I added actually just a little bit of the white to the bottom of my eyes as well, just the hair, just to kind of give my eyes a little bit of a twinkle. And now I'm just going to go in with my liner as well. I actually love Lucy's lip shape.
Yeah.
I've always thought it was like her symbol, almost like her trademark. So I've always thought it worked well for her. I think I've seen other people try and do a similar shape, and maybe because she just owned it, it always just looked really good on her.
And that's so true with especially these kind of signature features. You know, a lot of times they don't translate exactly the same on somebody else because we have a lot of people that are kind of like, Lucy's lip shape is not for me. And that's totally fine. Totally fine. And it's like, and some people are like, it's overdrawn, it's unnatural. And it's almost like was purposely that way because she did overdraw and make her lips such a feature so that would stand out in her expression, be even more expressive on camera and in black and white. Because all of her, she has so many, physical comedy, facial expressions, and all that is just highlighted by those big red lips. So it's really on purpose, kind of.
She would do that all the time. To like, I don't know how to do it. Sideways mouth.
That's pretty good.
I can't. I don't know.
Sideways mouth.
What if I just left it like this? Is this cute? Is this so cute? No, I'm going to fill it in with the Love That Redhead lipstick, which this redhead loves. This Love That Redhead lipstick. And I love pairing it with this darker lip liner as well because it really gives your lips dimension.
Yeah. And real quick, someone asked about the compact powders or cashmere powders. So those have gone away, but don't be sad. We are going to be coming out with a new compact soon and refillable options. So if there's a color of that compact powder, the cashmere, that you really loved, then email info@bessamecosmetics.com to tell them, and they will let you know when it's back in its new refillable form.
Yes.
So just an update on that. Yay. Sarah says, she loves it. The best part of fashion, anything could be for you if you wear it confidently enough. That's so true.
I
love
believe
it.
that
Right.
100%.
Yay. And then, yes, people love both colors of the Lucy lips. Perfect for redheads. Yes, Trisha. Everyone agrees. Of course, Gabrielle designed them so that they would be perfect for redheads like Lucy, and people love them. Yay. And Ranitra, I'm talking to you right as you're putting stuff on your lips. Great choice. Tell me about this. Wow, you've got a lipstick right in your face.
Oh my gosh, Ranitra, you look so beautiful.
Thank you.
And that's the
I love a red.
Victory
I
Red.
feel like honestly in the summer, a red lip and just pretty skin, just with a little bit of powder, a little shadow, goes such a long way. And I think that this collection is the perfect summer translation
Oh yeah.
because you're able to really achieve, you know, summer soft. One of my favorite songs is a song called Summer Soft, and you're able to achieve like summer soft looks that look like you're not trying too hard. And I think because so many of us are wearing masks, you kind of want something that's still soft, still looks like you have, something on, but it's not heavy, but it still gives you a little bit of glamour.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And we got a question for how do we moisturize our lips? Do you guys have any little techniques, any like different tricks for that other than kind of just regular old chapstick kind of deals?
What do you do, Ranitra?
I actually, okay, so this is like an old, I guess maybe it's an old Southern thing, but I daily use straight cocoa butter on my lips.
Oh, cocoa
What?
And
butter.
honestly, there's just cocoa butter. There's a brand that I find, I think they only sell it at like Walgreens, and it's just cocoa butter, and it comes in a little tube. And I use that as a chapstick. And I find that if I use it like every day, at some point, I really never have to ever moisturize my lips. And because I find for me, in using liners, if I like, say, for example, if my lips are too moisturized before I try to use the liner, it gets runny.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so normally the cocoa butter is good because it's emollient, but it's not like runny, like using like a substance that's more of a chapstick. Some of chapsticks have a little bit more petroleum in them, which kind
Yeah.
of makes your lips a little runny, and it sits on top of your lips.
Mhm.
So then when you go to put the liner on, the liner is essentially sitting on top of that chapstick. So I love the cocoa butter. It's just something that's always worked well for me. And then I like it too because then if I have any other dry spots, I can use it there also.
Ooh,
There you go.
that is a great tip.
That's a great tip. Yeah, and you're right.
Mhm.
Sometimes putting on a chapstick or a balm or something right before you put on liner or lipstick is not going to give you the desired look that you want. I have found that to be true. I'm sure you guys as lipstick wearers know that to be true as well. But the great thing about Besame lipsticks, as I'm sure you know, is that they're super hydrating. So when you put them on, you
Yeah.
kind of feel like you've just put on lip balm at the same time as
Right.
your lipstick, which is great. So what I like to do actually is right before I go to bed, after I wash my face and everything, I just put on plain old Vaseline on my lips. I just put on some Vaseline on my lips, leave it on, go to sleep. I wake up, my lips are great. I might, in the morning when I first wake up, apply just regular lip balm like once. And then that's it, unless it's a super dry day. But then sometimes when it's a super
Right.
dry day, sometimes just drinking lots of water is all that you need if your lips are really dry or your nail beds or something. That's just your body saying like, drink more water. And that's going to make not only like your lips feel better, but your skin's going to be better. Everything. Just drink water. That's the best beauty advice. Drink water.
Yeah.
Right. It does make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. Quick thing about, yes, the refillable things will have like a little magnetic thing. So it's literally will be refillable. You just pop in a different powder of whatever you need. And those tips are
That's
so
awesome.
great. I have no good answer with lip moisturization because my lips are as dry as they could ever be all the time. So I've tried everything.
Now you've got some tips.
Wrong. So now I've got real good tips. I probably just need to drink water. Let's see. Question for Ranitra. Great. Oh yes, question for Ranitra from Hallery. How do you like have you tried the Love That Redhead lipstick?
Yes, I have. I am just really, really particular about the usage of my special products like this. So I just only want to use them when I absolutely have to. It's so funny because when I did my first tutorial and I actually had to unbox my product, I was like, no, I'm so bad about like products that are special to me. Like I want to use them, but then I don't want to use them because they're special.
Yeah.
So then when I tried it, I went, ooh, I love it. But then I get nervous that I'm going to like use more of it than I should.
Yeah.
So then I only really want to use it like on special occasions.
I so get that.
I actually have something I'm planning that I'm doing later today where I probably will use it.
Ooh.
But I love it. I think it's a gorgeous color. On me, it kind of is more of a little bit of, kind of resembles Mickey Mouse red on me.
Okay.
If you've tried that one, it's kind of like a little bit more of an orangey kind of a red, which I like, works really well on me because it photographs well.
Oh.
I tend to like reds that don't have necessarily a burgundy undertone because then when they photograph, it looks a little darker. I tend to like really bright reds. It just looks much more vivid on my skin. So I was really excited about it.
Cool.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is so true. The temptation of, I think of that with my Lucy compact. I like never want to touch it and like get fingerprints on it and stuff. Yet I'm like,
I know.
but why don't I? That's what I have it for.
But I bought it to use it.
Yeah.
But I also bought it because it's beautiful.
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
Yeah, especially when they're embossed, I really have a hard time. Like if it's something that's embossed with a face or a logo, then I'm like, don't want to mess it up.
The struggle.
But eventually, you know, I'm like, okay, well, I bought it to use it, so c'est la vie. Let me use it one time. Let me use it, and I will use certain ones over time. But I'm just kind of cautious in the way that I use them. I tend to just not like dig in like I would just a normal compact. I tend to just have a little bit more of a fragile hand.
No, totally.
Sure. Yeah.
Yay. So these are our completed looks, correct? These are so beautiful.
Do I look
So
like a 50s
pretty.
housewife now? Like I'm going to go bake a pie and...
You do, Janae.
Very so glamorous. So pretty. And it's really nice because I like the contrast of Janae's with yours with a little bit darker in the eyes, gives a different feeling. And then Renitra's, yours just looks so like just airbrushed, natural. And then with this beautiful red lip, it's just so striking and pretty.
And it matches your outfit really nicely. Like it's all
it
going
does.
together.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. Yeah.
It matches so well. I love it.
And it's cool and comfortable. That's the most important thing. Like I still feel like, my eyes are, I don't feel overly done. I feel like everything looks soft. It looks pulled together. Like if I was going to office, this would be nice. If I was going to lunch, this would be perfect. If I was going to dinner, this would be perfect.
Yeah.
So I feel like it just works with anything you want to do,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's beautiful. So before we go, we have we've got a code for you and everything.
Yes.
Also, I'd love to hear if there's any other tutorials in particular you guys would like to see, because we always love to check in and see what would be most interesting to you. My twist today is very small. I'm wearing the same color of lipstick as Ranitra. I'm wearing Victory Red. And then, so I don't know if you'll see that well. So I used the taupe on my eyes in Band Leader Brown and then a wash of the Baba Blue. You might not be able to see it that well, but I just want to say, doing that little bit of Baba Blue over even something like a taupe or kind of a more neutral, adds that little bit of shimmer. It just makes every eye color I've seen just pop out a little bit more. So even if you think, like, why would I put blue over that? It just kind of enhances the tone without looking super blue. So
It's cute.
not much of a twist per se, but an interesting, just a thing I thought was cool.
Totally.
That I tried.
Very
So
cool. Different
there we
take.
go. Great. So we have a code for you guys as always. If you want to get Renitra's beautiful lip color, Victory Red, or if you want to get the shadow brush, the fluffy shadow brush, which again, the 1-2 punch of the little brush inside the palette and the shadow brush make application go so much faster because you get that. Put a lot of it on with the small brush and blend it out with the other.
Yes.
If you want 10% off Victory Red or 10% off the shadow brush, or use code TT811. That's good for 2 more days, and that's TT811. We have the little thing up on the screen there. But now you can get this beautiful color. This is, it's kind of our like most historic color of it was based in, when the government allowed this to be made and contracted it to be made in World War II to lift people's spirits. So it's an extra good one for right now, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay.
Totally.
Wonderful. So we had a couple requests for like a 30s look. Cool. And
Nice.
let us know anytime if you have comments even later about more tutorials you'd be interested in. Ranitra, always an absolute delight. Ranitra will be back soon. We're going to have her on as much as we can, but she'll definitely be back. So wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
And Janae, of course, always so beautiful and lovely and fun. Gorgeous again.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching.
Yes,
Our Tuesday people are so sweet and lovely. And, we love you all so much. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. We will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye, everyone. Thank you.